Hey guys, it's Chris Wong. I'm filming this video as of September 15th, 2025, and I'd like to talk about changes I made to my portfolio earlier today and the thoughts I had when I went to the car dealership today to just get my oil change and other maintenance done. So as a disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy interested in building a portfolio and trying to achieve financial independence, retire early. So when I was at the dealership and I was using my phone for like 90 minutes before they told me my car was ready, I was making a lot of changes and I was thinking about my margin usage and if I'm making the right moves. So I'm not a good buy and sell type trader. I'm more of a guy who likes to collect dividend income on a weekly or monthly basis. And I was thinking, according to my previous videos, that I had a shopping problem still, that I was still buying on margin, even though I kept saying I want to limit how much I want to buy. And then today the S&P 500 seemed to hit its all-time highs. So I was actually wondering, what should I buy or should I sell? So I actually reduced a little bit of shares of TSLW and TSII. And I also reduced the Canadian version of YTSL and TSLY. So I didn't want to sell all of them. I just actually wanted to reduce a little bit of them because I was selling them for a profit. And then I was also selling a little bit of HHIS. And even then, after when I was reducing my margin usage, I didn't reduce a lot. And I thought about, this is not how I actually want to get rich this way, like buying and selling. I was also buying more of the inverse ETFs to protect my margin, SPXU, YQQQ, and I started getting a smaller position of SH by ProShares. And I thought about the difference between the triple leverage inverse ETFs and just a single leverage. I was actually wondering how risky is the triple leverage inverse ETF if I couldn't buy it at the top of a cycle, like if the S&P 500 hit its all-time highs and I didn't buy at the highest compared to if I bought SH. In my previous videos, I talked about how I made bad moves about changing my YieldMax ETFs to the inverse ETFs by YieldMax, and I lost money, even though I sold the regular ones as highs and tried to buy the inverse ones as lows. So even with the non-YieldMax versions, I don't even know if I'm playing them correctly. So what I'm doing for myself for now with the inverse ETFs is I'm just going to hold on to them. I'm just going to buy more over time as I try to average down the positions. I may put more focus on SH, but I'm still going to average down SPXU. And I'm going to collect more shares of YQQQ and SLTY just for the dividend income. So I was actually thinking about what's a good ratio to have between regular ETFs and inverse ETFs. So far, I might try to work towards a 5-to-1 ratio. So I just want to have 5 times more of regular ETFs with the long-term trend to go up and collect the dividend income. And the amount of inverse ETFs I have should be 1/5 of my regular ETFs. So when the market goes up in the long term, that 1/5 of the holdings for the inverse ETFs. It shouldn't bother me if it goes down long term. And if I cannot make money trying to sell them for a profit, it's okay. They're just there in case I get a margin call and I have something to sell, hopefully at a profit or at least break even. So Tesla went up and I don't know if it's going to go up any higher. So I actually decided to change my TSLW holdings from Roundhill in my RSP and switch it into WPAY. So at least that way I can actually get exposure to all their weekly paying ETFs in just one fund. And for a retirement account, I'd rather have WPAY more than TSLW to live off of. So before I made the decision to sell TSLW to buy WPAY in my RSP, I actually calculate what the estimated dividend is going to be this week, and it seemed like I'm just going to get $2 less for having WPAY instead of holding TSLW in my RSP. Now what the dividend is going to be going forward, I'm not sure. While I was at the car dealership, I was actually thinking back to my early 20s when I started experiencing taking my car for repairs or for maintenance, and how when I was working a low-paying minimum wage job and I went to take my car for repairs, or if there's any major damage, that it pretty much cost me my whole paycheck to pay for the car repairs. And one time I think it cost me 3 weeks of pay just to pay the bill for the car repairs. So at that time, I knew nothing about investing. All I knew was just work and save. So then I was thinking to my past. The mindset I had is, what am I doing that time? I'm just going to work, and my day off is just trying to pay off my car repairs just so I can continue going to work. So now I think about today. I've been an investor for at least 3 years. I changed my mindset over the years and how I would pay the car repairs. So today I cannot retire yet, but I still have to go to work to earn work income. But because I've been working my portfolio to earn more dividend income, it's actually a lot less stressful to pay car repairs out of dividends or out of margin versus just having work income alone. So the mindset of investing regularly, contributing money to buy investments, and then over time the investments plus contributions can buy you more investments, and you get to a stage where you can actually live off your investments or have your investments pay for some of your expenses. Working just to make a living, just to eat and to sleep, go to work 5 days a week, earn income, and then you have to go grocery shopping, have to pay your rent, and then if your car breaks down, then the money I saved up has to actually go to pay the person who's repairing my car. And then without being an investor, then I got to start again, then I got to work more hours to build up my savings again. So I would say it's a good thing overall. No matter what happens in the market, it's better to be an investor than just be a saver. I hope you guys liked the video. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. Otherwise, please subscribe to my channel for future videos. Thank you guys for watching.